Alright peeps, welcome back to one version. In the last episode we got our big fancy set of floodgates and dams up and running so we can retain a lot more water. However, if we turn the hood off, we've got zero water and a hell of a lot of thirsty bloody beavers. So we cannot afford to fill up any of these dams initially. Which is rather unfortunate because that would be bloody hella satisfying now, wouldn't it? What's even more satisfying than watching all of those locks fill up is just watching the water flow straight down here, spinning our power wheels and allowing our water slurpers to slurp it up. And look at that, we've already tripled our amount of water knocking about. Quadrupled, we've tripled it! I'll stop doing that because we're probably going to flick in with single figures for quite some bloody time. But having all of these thirsty beavers and whatnot knocking about is not sitting well with me, like. I do not like it in the slightest. So what we're going to do is delete these 3 gatherer flags, including this entire path over here, which yes, it's going to require a game pause, because now all of these bad lads are disconnected. With Davey Fret, we're going to be reconnecting the path straight up. Getting our beavers to pick up the berries with a high priority. But before they do that, we need to increase our deep water pump slurpage. And since we opened up the pool and whatnot, I figured why the bloomin' heck not bloody use it. But that's not all we're going to be using the pool for this episode. Because before I end up forgetting, this episode is all about giving these one version beavers here in their one district water security. Because there's nought a beaver loves more than water security. So yeah, now beaver builders. Oh, there's only 2 of yous. We need to sort that out. We're ditching 2 haulers and we're going straight up to 4 beaver builders in here. Where's me 2 bonus beaver builders? Oh, there they come. They're just taking the time getting here. And having water security for our 1 beavers here is not just adding more water bloody slurpers. We ran out of storage in the last episode, so we need to get more bloody storage on the gun. And unfortunately, I didn't have 600 science points to point a bloody big tank anywhere, so we're going to have to settle for a wee medium tank. So we're getting ourselves 2 bonus slurpers and a bonus medium tank. And that's all before any more bloody hoosing. Just to make sure we didn't waste any more bloody time on hoosing, let's get all of this done to a medium priority. Oh, I'm tempted to get those 42 logs back, but no. We're only going to end up wasting builders' time putting them back in there. We may as well have beavers chopping down all these oaks and replanting them, of course. Ooh, and since we've got water spilling into here, nae bother, let's start raising up our big old floodgates here. Let's go on 0.85. Maybe whip the hood off and gone for a quick speed through the night. Oh, that's not flooding at all. Well, in that case, we're going to go on 0.85 on all of these here. And then we can go straight into seeing if any of these triple locks flood. Well, that bottom one does, but you know what? That's alright. If it's only going to flood a wee bit. Ooh, we stopped that speedy up bit at the perfect time. Come on, Mr. Sky and Sun. No! 399 science points. That is terrible, that beavers. Oh, you knew exactly what you were doing there, like. Well, while we're waiting for the 1 science point to be built, we can get these stairs back in here, which, yes, does mean we wasted 99% of the resources on those bloody stairs when we first demolished them. But the reason I'm happy popping them back in is this area here is no longer going to be our big industrial estate. I've had some cracking comments regarding this area here, which is already contaminated, so there's no bloody green growing ground here, just green contaminated ground, and we've got free power during good tides and bad tides. It's a bloody win-win. So as we crack along here, we're going to be slowly but surely migrating our beavers industrial estate from our here to our here. Even though, looking at this water here, it's fairly bloody slow. Let's see if it's even worth doing that. Compact water wheel, 30 horsepower. That could be alright, especially if you end up whipping with a large power wheel. We've got a row of 35s here. So we could plonk some power down by these trees. We've already got beavers coming out down the bottom here. Although, what would it be like after this waterfall when we've got two flows combining? 104? You know what, that could be alright, that, you know. Because of course I'm not going to get the small water wheel, I'm going to get the large water wheel running. But that needs to be elevated somewhat. So let's have a little bit of a deeks with our platforms here and see just how much power we're going to bloody make. 402 horsepower! 494! So we can get 2 on there, we can build a couple on the other side. We'll be absolutely giraffing by the time we're doing that. Well, that seems like an absolute plan. But that's not all about water security now, is it? Why do we still have so many thirsty beavers? We got 4 beavers grafted in here. And thanks to Babby's growing up, we still have 4 beavers in the district centre. But anywho, now that we've got over 400 science points, it's time to go out to the industrial estate, into a landscaping tab, and unlock an explosives factory. We're going to have it, ooh, which way do we have it round though? No, we'll have it this way round. I was going to contemplate about chucking it the other way round, but we'll have it over here because this is where the food and water is usually stored. Oh, 30 berries! Oh yeah, that's right. We need to do something about this, like real sharpish. Let's pause these 2 for now, get 4 bonus beaver haulers. They can take the water over here and put it wherever it's bloody required. I'm also going to prioritise all of these bad lads by haulers just to make sure they're as efficient as beaverly possible. Now let's temporarily get some storage in here for our big boom factory. We're going to be wanting to store up all the TNT, which requires a small warehouse, not a small industrial pile, MiGly. Ooh, what I've got planned, I might want to go ahead and get another 2 small warehouses. Oh, and I might want to go ahead and get another bloody 2 bad water slurpers up, Gunya. And unpause a bad water slurper so the bad water tanks actually get filled. Right, well with that all operational, we have a workplace spare. And it's not in here. Where is it then? What's not being fulfilled? Because all of this should be. Now I'm going to make this explosives factory maximum priority, mainly so we get the metal parts out of the metalsmith here. We've got a recipe. Can we make efficient yet? Fireworks, that's right! Oh, well, we're definitely going to have to be getting some fireworks on the crack at some point, but for now, we're going to be needing some explosives, which also means we're going to be needing 600 science points. And that means that we're having all of these bad lads unpaused the entire episode. Alright, and before I start recording, I unpaused the 3 breeding pods that I paused at the end of the last episode when I was in my knee water panic. Well, look at that, we're already up to 150. What are they? Oh, our tanks are even getting a bit blue. And it's set to supply. And there's a hauler coming to... Okay, yep, whatever. Yep, there's a hauler coming to make things ever so slightly more efficient. Oh, and I need to unpause this bad lad. Oh, 5 berries. Oh, how close are these? I can't believe I completely forgot about the food, you know. It's because this episode's all about bloody water security. Just don't mind the fact that I sidetracked onto future industry plans. But we definitely need to make sure that we've got beavers around to enjoy that water security now, don't we? And thankfully, the gatherer flags don't cost anything to rebuild, so I'm not wasting any resources rebuilding this bad lad. No, definitely worry, beavers. I was good at you. Didn't worry. I'll come fix it. The kohlrabis will grow. And you won't have hungry tummies for very much longer. And at some point, I'll have you all hoosed and all. You can see the scaffolding for your fancy new hoose. We just had to, you know, stop building it. Now, I am quite curious. I haven't revealed what my water security plan is. So at this point, what do you think it is? Let us know. And I'm definitely not just asking you that, so if you have any better ideas than I actually come up with, I can steal them in future episodes or anything like that. Definitely not. And we got 4 days without a bloody warning, which is fantastic because we should be able to grow 2 whole lots of kohlrabis out here. And we're nearly ready for some kohlrabis, which means we'll have some food on the can. Ooh, and our beavers are absolutely cranking along with building this explosives factory. Unfortunately, we have run out of gears dumping them all in there, so we need to get 1 beaver in here. And honestly, I'm thinking just 1 beaver in the large power wheel as well. We'll sacrifice, you know what, 2 beavers on the large power wheel, go on. We'll run at high efficiency. Now I see that, and then I see that we have 2 vacancies. As long as these 2 vacancies aren't builders, then we'll have full efficiency. Otherwise, we're gonna go doing to 3 haulers. We really need the haulers for the water situation. We're only up to 50 peeps. We're only up to 50. I'm half tempted to, like, panic build some more water slurpers, to be honest with you. I'm gonna have to, aren't I? Like, I can't what if it's a long drought or bad tide? Yeah, now we're gonna have to get some emergency water slurpers on the crack, yeah, like. Where can I fit this in? Oh, well, that's mildly annoying, isn't it? You know what? If we can fit one, we'll bloody build one in there. Maximum priority job for your beavers and a maximum priority bloody workplace. Now, that does mean we're going to be bringing the building priority down of all of this stuff to just high. And we could build another water slurper hour here. That could function, but, like, strictly during good tides, though. It would be pretty cool if we could get it slurping out of the edge, but that would be, you know, blocking a potential bridge. And would require some bloody block investment to actually get it plopped in there in the first place. But not to fear, we've got beavers sitting on their Oz day and night, so they can go and be bonus builders. And we've got hungry slow beavers banging away getting this big water slurper in. And since we got it in, we've crested triple digits on our water. We're starting to get 2 tanks worth of water up here. Now, but for reals though, how are our haulers doing? Not too bad. We're getting kohlrabies up and running. That's 4 bonus beaver jobs that need to get slurped from somewhere. And honestly, I think it might have to be a hauler, even though we really didn't want to do that. We've got knee builders. Absolutely knee builders. Not good. You know what? We're not going to get water security, aka 600 science points, and get everything crafted during this temperate season. So we're not going to bother with cogs. Knee cogs for this laddie. We'll just make gears when the tide changes. I'm saying this scavenger's getting bloody up and running, and if we're already not bothering with the gears, why are we bothering with the metal parts? Especially since we're going to run out of scrap because I paused old mate. Right now, we got a full complement of 3 builders and 2 bloody berry pickers and 4 kohlrabi pickers / planters. You know what? This actually could be a fun bit of speedy up bit until I see that kohlrabi warehouse with at least 2 layers on it. I mean, for real though, you're going to see the kohlrabis growing towards us. You're going to see that wheel spinning. Oh, and the beavers picking and planting the kohlrabis as they can. Should be a mad little speedy up bit. Hang about! Oh, beavers are bloody... They're picking up the ones they've replanted. Oh, well, that was a bloody mega speedy up bit in that case then, wasn't it? Oh! Hoo, hoo. I did not hear that we had a warning inbound. Thankfully, we've got a fair dinkum bit of water. I probably would have panic built another water slurper, to be honest with you, peeps. But, if doubt else, we can actually get these floodgates up and running. I'm actually really happy I noticed that these beavers put people these kohlrabis at the ground. Because we would have just ended up wasting 0.15 water in all of these. Not to mention 0.45 water down here. So we'll raise that up to 0.85. Oh, blooming heck! I was just about to come on and say I've just paused the lumberjack flag because I'm going to go crazy with haulers because we're going to be retaining heaps of water and these lumberjack flags are full anyway. And we may as well get as much water in these tanks as beaverly possible. And of course, I'm not going to be pausing any... Oh, I already had 700 science points! I'm still not going to be pausing any because we still need to get the centrifuge and everything in. Ooh. Ooh, peeps. I could get fancy with it, you know. I didn't realise we were going to be this damn efficient. So let's start with a full complement of haulers and see how that leaves us with the builders. Do I care? I don't think I do, you know. We've got bonus plank storage. I mean, the haulers are going to have to take it a long way. But that's alright. As long as we've still got beavers sciencing. Oh, we got beavers hoosed and built the staircase. Damn! Could you see that in the speedy up bit and I just completely missed it? Alright, highlighted beavers. I want to see he's taking your water to every last bloody tank about the map. Including all of these poor little water slurpers here. And straight in. Oh, 24 working days as well. Yeah, 24 working days. Oh, 0.2 days. I think it's time to go one up to here until it starts flooding. Oh, which it is. That's fantastic. So we're flooding here. So we can go one up to here until we start flooding. And then once we start flooding properly, you know, not just the ripple tide of actually closing the floodgate, we can then start going up to 1 on this bad lad. Now that's a small pool, so that's going to flood very quickly. And then we go up to 1 on here. And then we realise that we've done that all far too quickly, so we turn the hood off and we just wait for the flood to disappear. And that's the flood disappeared. Beavers! How did you get on with this 19-day drought preparation? First of all, you can be useful elsewhere, i.e. get building. Second of all, every last one of ye water slurpers can be bloody paused. We're going to get lumberjack flags and the forester back up and running. Bring the hauling post down to something a tad more reasonable. See where our jobs lie, because we need to get at least 1 beaver in here, cranking away with the gears. And ideally, 2 beavers in here, which is still leaving us with, I was going to say 1, but 2 beavers left over. So they can be bonus haulers. But what I was contemplating earlier about getting fancy with it is getting a centrifuge in. I wasn't planning on it, but now that I look at this, that's going to take 4 bad water per extract, which won't work. I have enough bad water stored up here. I mean, I believe I have 10 bad water spare, including the deep bad water pump storage. So I certainly can't afford to be adding 4 bonus bad water requirements per TNT now, can I? And now what? I can actually show you my plan now. So my plan, as I alluded to earlier, is to use this bit pond that we opened up, and we're going to create a canal all the way up to here in a big straight line. Now, how many years were expecting that, bad lad? We're simply gonna dump water into this big hole and create a big pool. And I suppose I didn't actually need to build all of these dynamite warehouses now, did I? I may as well have one of these bad lads dedicated to scrappage, because I noticed that our scrapper was filling up, which I can't because it's the wrong type of warehouse. So we may as well have this lad dedicated to metal parts then. And then this small warehouse can be for kohlrabies. You can never have enough bonus food and water storage for your grafters. Didn't you agree, Mr. Scrapper? He's like bloody YIRD. I'd love to not have to go all the way down there for some kohlrabies. I'd love to just pick them up from right here. And he is doing a cracking job reducing the scrappage up on the hill there. Look at this water level. Look at it, it's beautiful. We got the mossy bloody... We've never had the mossiness up here for more than like half a day while the water just trickled down. But this isn't just pretty moss creating water. What we can do with this stored reservoir of water here is empty it all down, layer by layer, into our big old river here, which is about to require a hell of a lot more water to keep topped up. Hello, empty kohlrabi warehouse. Any particular reason you're empty? We've still got 4 grafters over here, aye? We still have kohlrabi and berries knocking about. That's fantabulous. We're full on berries. That's not a weird cut or anything. I just sort of stopped talking because I was about to start whinging about the annoying part about this. Is I'll pause the gatherer flag, forget, and then we'll end up having nae bloody breeding on the crack because there's no berries. But then I was like, hang on. Timberborn devs have sorted out MiGly. You can get proper fancy with it with one of these bad lads. Once the resources start getting low, it can automatically unpause the gatherer flag. You know, what do these take? Because I might bloody invest in that. And we have 250 science points, so why the blooming heck not? I'd say we pop it right up here. Well worth it 250 science points. If this is the correct block anyway. Resource counter 1! Nah, mate. Ye are our 1 berry counter. And we should probably switch the thing it's counting over to bloody berries in that case. Now, I'm happy keeping it a percentage. Let's say when the percentage drops below 71%, it then will start unpausing gatherer flag. Oh, which has unlocked an automate. I will automate your, the 1 berry counter. I love it. I love it far more than I should. This is... I can't wait to name all of the things 1 something or other. So we're slowly cranking away with gears and metal parts. We will get this explosives factory up and running. No, and we got our bloody water tank up and running. You know, we should set these up to be obtaining goods so they, you know, actually obtain some goods. And we got 2 bonus beavers. I think we can run this at 100% efficiency now. And I'm thinking, what do we do about the fact that I'm going to cut off the path yet again? Just a tad more, permanently this time. Now, of course, the important paths are the ones gone in, well, just down here in general. I did have a plan. I wanted to put a wee bridge, just, you know, knocking about like that. But then I built a water slurper in the way. So if I do a bridge over there, it's just going to lead nowhere. And I didn't see a point of doing a bridge over here when it's not fully fancy. And our cheaty small warehouse bridge days are behind us now in one district. We can't be doing that. So we're going to have to bite the bullet. And get some stairs up and down. Because this is also double. It's a bit of bonus wet 4 for the beavers. And speaking of wet 4 for the beavers, I do not know if the shower actually consumes water. By the looks of things, it absolutely does, because it dumps the water not only on the beavers' fur, which, you know, maybe it's like ducks' backs and the water just flows straight off, but it also then just dumps it straight into the ground, which, yes, irrigation and everything like that. However, nah. And since we've got our gear workshop running at 100% efficiency, I reckon we should have ourselves a bit of a dive down into first beaver perspective. Look at these bloody TNT flags. I don't think I've ever been doing you get knocked by them. We can have a bit of a slalom through the bloody flags. Oh, it gets wild. It gets bloody wild. I missed one. I hit one. Oh, that's at least minus 10 seconds. Well, anyway, the reason I'm doing you is so we can see our first bit of automation. Not just in one version, but in my entire bloody Timberborn experience. So let's try and get a proper fancy angle without falling off anything. And then we can whip out the the fanciest of speedy up building angles. So we can see our beavers dropping off gears, dropping off metal parts, and getting this automation banged in. But here we are, with our big automation that should automate this flag. No! Here for real! Oh, up to 24 working hours, you poor beavers! Oh, that's painful, but I'm doing it. My thought process at the moment is I don't want to waste it by putting it somewhere it's going to have to get moved. But I also don't want to just send a path to the corner of the map and be like, yeah, now beaver, just build it over there. It'll take you 3 years, but just get it built. So I reckon I'm just going to accept that this is going to end up deleted and replopped somewhere else. We'll reset our automations up. Oh, not on our dirty resource counter 1. Eewee. This is our caps lock edition 1 berry counter. Now, I will say I'm a tad perturbed with our kohlrabi situation here. I actually don't even know if the beavers have picked these up at all. Do we need even more farmers on the crack? Is that what the game's telling us here? Because different testers, I'll listen to yous, and you'll end up with 1,000 bloody farm hooses. And since we have 3, we'll be able to have 2 on picking them up and 1 on planting them. Which should help the kohlrabis get to, you know, some sort of number. Oh, and have you seen this, peeps? Oh, water levels dipping a bit down here. Why didn't we go ahead and lower the floodgate and do a mad speedy up bit while we see if we flood or not? Honestly, I'd say that was a bloody fair dinkum flood. I'm happy with that. And then what we can do now is we can raise this back up to 1, and we should quite easily be able to dump all of this into here like nae beaver's business. And it should have plenty of volume left over because of this bit hole up the top is wee, and this hole down the bottom is less wee. Oh, we cannot risk the bloody ruins drying up and not being all mossy. So we're going to start dropping half a block out of here. And hopefully not flooding. Maybe I'll leave this at half a block. Maybe I'll leave this up at 0.85. And, oh, that's what I'll do. I'll put this at 0.85 as well. And then it'll just sort of automatically start overflowing if it needs to. There we go. I'm happy with that. We can also, like, start automating things. Ooh. Can we automate our bad water repulsion system? Imagine if I only have to manually do this once. It does mean getting through these thorns, which could be a bit of a, you know, thorn in my side. But I reckon I've got a plan to bypass these feckers. But before I do that, I need to actually know how these bloody automation things work. I'm pretty sure I saw one that was to do with a depth sensor. Oh, that takes straight up scrap. That's not bad, that, like. Not that I can build one up here, because it would need to be on a path and things like that. Ah, look. the game may or may not say that it needs to be connected to a district path before you build it, and I didn't have to waste 99% of the resources building it. But you can't prove that now, can you? Oh, this is what I was after. Contamination sensor. Measures water contamination below its arm. Oh, it's got an arm? Which, yeah, it just read. It has an arm. Right. So, my idea, which it really should work, actually, like, genuinely should work, is to get a fancy pants hour hang. Unfortunately, a bit longer than the ones we already have. Too longer than that. Ooh, we're getting into the expensive science now, though. And it doesn't need to be too longer, MiGly. It only needs to be one longer, which we have the science points for. Now, all we should have to do is get a stair on there, connect the path up. Oh, and not forgetting that the contamination sensor will need to be connected to a path, no doubt. Hang on, it doesn't. So the contamination sensor, the one thing I'm pathing up to, doesn't need a bloody path. But I reckon this here should work. Once I get, you know, another 300 science points. This is directly above the source. So the second it sees contamination, I can get it to close the floodgates. Yeah, now I'm keen as a bean for that, like. And we got beavers dropping off the metal blocks in here. That was actually one of the reasons I wanted to get something that needed metal blocks built. Because we were full on our storage down here. Well, we still are. They've only emptied. Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting about the stairs. So just imagine you're a builder returning from the fray. You pick up a metal block, you go down the stairs, chucking your wheeze, getting all the way down next to the clippity-clappity babbies. Well, I must admit, I am well happy with this little water system we've got here. Like, this may flood, but if it does, it's only gonna flood down into the river where we want the water eventually anyway. We'll get that back up to 0.85. We'll get this up to 0.85. Ready for 12.5 days' time when the water flows freely once again. And not only will it be flowing freely down here and off the edge of the map where it's utterly wasted, but it'll be getting dynamited down into a new pool here. Which, yeah, now, has been a plan for quite some time, hence the oak forest garden all the way around it. But I was genuinely either going to build an aqueduct off this little ledge here, or do what the game intends you to do, which is go all the way around through this. You know what? This is a first person time, this. Through this mad tunnel here. That's where the sources are. And then you end up going down here. We'd have to get this blocked off. We'd have to get beavers getting this block all out the way. And then we'd have to get some sort of dam in place so we can send water out here and then down into our pool. Now I think, personally, that my little TNT canal is a much smoother idea. Especially considering the fact that we have our new path across the river up and running. That means beavers didn't even have to go into the shower to get their wet fall. They just need to go and visit the water slurpers. Oh, we only need 7 more metal parts and we'll be crafting those bloody TNTs. And if I have done my maths right, we have, like I say, 10 bad water left over when this is all said and done. So I'm quite happy I remembered to plonk these bonus small tanks in. And I cannot express how happy I am with this bloody layer of water here. And we even have a bit more bonus water to bloody dump too when we fancy it. Oh, this is grand. This is absolutely grand. Davey Jr would be one proud beaver looking at his one district here. And we're even getting some kohlrabi stored up. And this is the supply warehouse and all. Which means all of these warehouses are chock-a-block all the way around the map. And look at this as well. We've got Forester and Lumberjack flag grafting many days into this drought. And we can have them grafting for many more days throughout this drought. And these trees are all grown up, so when they get chopped down, we'll be able to put a path in there. Just don't mind the fact that we're blowing up the path that goes over there. Oh, and yes, we need to do a real casual bonus path on there, otherwise old mate won't have any connection. I am absolutely keen for this, you know, peeps. Like, this is a game changer on cycle 9. I mean, I'm bigging up the fact we're going to get this done this season, but we might have like 10 days to craft all of these explosives. And I'm wondering why it's taken so long, you know. Because we've got logs in there, we've got scrap metal. It only takes 3 hours. They're grafting for 18 a day. Whenever this beaver needs to take a break, they only have to go to here for food and water. Let's bloody do a bit of micromanaging and hickory bus here. We'll get up to speed 4 for the day. Oh, let's get that nonsense off the screen. And we'll see what they actually get up to and why they didn't craft enough bloody metal parts for our colony. Oh no, the day they're about to woo Arit! And some say micromanaging isn't effective. We've got to craft out loads of metal parts and complete the explosives factory. Maximum satire there, by the way, for those that don't pick up on sarcasm. Now I reckon we get this explosives factory prioritised by haulers. That way, that teeny weeny 5 explosives won't be an issue, and we should have haulers getting all of this bad water from, well, pretty much the other side of the map at this point, over to them. Now I wouldn't mind having some more haulers, but I can't sacrifice any more builders. We don't have any water slurpers up and running. I think the only thing I can do is pause 2 beavers in the farmhouse. That's the joys of having just all the water level you could want, you know? You just let some out, it gans up. You might get a bit of a flood, but it'll sort itself out. Otherwise, you just keep some in reserve, you know? You never know when you're gonna bloody need it. And we did not waste a single drop of water on that fill up. So it's gone up to 6 beaver haulers, 2 beaver builders, and ooh, we need to make sure we're 100% efficiency in here. That's very important. I reckon we just straight up pause the gear workshop. Oh, and if you're sitting on your arse, you can get paused. And ye, Mr. Metalsmith, can get paused and all. And we shouldn't have to have any bonus beavers over here on the wheel. We're already at 100% efficiency. Whenever a beaver steps off here, it's only going to be to go directly across to get some food and water and then straight back to graft. There's absolutely no excuses for these beavers not to be 100% efficient at producing explosives. And you know what else our legendary 1 district beavers have been doing? They've been working their way up to 400 science points. I am absolutely keen to get that in, like. These are most certainly getting up to high priority. You know what? This sensor is a highest priority. Now, let's do the automations. I'm excited for this. So, it measures contamination. So, when the contamination gets above 0%, the second there's any contamination whatsoever, I want this floodgate. Oh, there we go. I was wondering what it was going to do. So, yeah, when it's off, it goes down. When it's on, it goes up. Yeah, automatically done. The only thing we need to sort out is the bloody name here. And this one's nice and simple. It's 1 contamination sensor. Well, I am bloody buzzing with that. That's kind of how I thought it would work, which means it's a really good, you know, well-developed thing and everything like that. Because it's how I thought it would work. It's totally intuitive. I might end up messing with a threshold, getting it up like 5% or something, so we got a bit of leeway. But realistically, I don't want any bloody bad what I'm doing here. The only time 0% will be an issue is when we are desperately needing what I'm doing here. And at that point, I'll just turn off the automation and just send it down to 0 manually. Well, for now, I want to see how we're cranking away with our big explosives. We've got bad water deliveries coming in. We've got an explosives there. Oh, hauler, you should have took it out and at least put it next door. Oh, didn't tell us that's what this hauler's going to do. Didn't. Well, I can't complain when 1 explosives doubles into 2 now, can I? Although that does mean we should be... Oh, we've already got some in! I was going to say we should be getting our first explosives in, but we've already bloody got some in. You know what, peeps? I think it might be time. Ooh, it might be time to increase the amount of bloody haulers to 8. Ooh, and looking at our water, 350. We might want to get a boot on pausing a slurper. And you know what? For 200 science points, I'm also going to automate every single layer of this big lock system here. Well, it's not much of a lock system, you can't get anything up or doing it, but you know what I mean, we'll get the bloody levees and dams up and all the way. Oh, and this isn't the warning telling us it needs to use a path, this is saying it's too far from district. See, and that doesn't tell you. There we go, I feel validated in wasting 99% of resources, even though it's very clearly got a bloody arrow on it. Which, I suppose if I'd have messed around with these first, I would have noticed that these do not have arrows on them. So there's your bloody cupcake pro tip for the episode. I think it might be the first one ever, and probably the last one, but If it's got an arrow going to it as an automation, it needs to be on a bloody path. Oh, and speaking of automations, I've just noticed that our berry storage is declining there. We're at 16. So we should have this automation occurring, or at least if it was built, we would. We literally just need a beaver to come bang it in. What do you mean can't get required materials at all in there? Ooh, what's this? Customize. Ooh, we have no planks. Alright then, we're going to get 4 beavers grafted in there. We're going to get a beaver or 2 in there. We're going to be bringing this down to 4. And damn, look at the beavers that went from this side as well. Oh, that's right, yeah, because I went up here and then along here and then done the middle. I forgot how I built the bloody thing. I'm tempted to blow these up, but we're going to do one big blow at once. And we'll make it safe. You know what, I might actually make it safe now. I might just delete these paths preemptively and have the beavers going through the bloody water here. So there's no reason for a beaver at all to come anywhere near this TNT. Well, especially once I delete this bit path, there won't be. But go on, beaver! Get the bit TNT banged in for her! It'll be a right treat. Oh, and looking at this water level here, since we unpaused our slurper, we need to get this floodgate down to 0. Oh, we've got 200 science points! Let's get automating. So I'm going to be clever with it here, and we're going to get a depth sensor for the bottom bit of the river down there, and then flip it around for the next level. Now, of course, we're going to have to be somewhat clever with our priorities here. Medium and minimum. That should do the trick. And then we're going to be wanting a depth sensor on this bad lad. We would, you know, like a depth sensor up here, but we don't have any access up there for our beavers at the moment. So we're just going to have to automate all the way up to the second top level. Oh, and of course, get the top level automated as well. And I've just clicked with 1 berry counter to check. Oh, look, here we go. We get 1 berry counter on the first bit of automation. We're caught it. And now we're going to have a look at what the colour does. Oh, it changes the light on top. Oh, that's kind of fun, like. Oh, you can put custom colours in here. I'll leave it as blue for now, and it says it's on, which means this bad lad should be unpaused. Why are you paused? We're at about 33%. Yeah, look, measurement, 37%, which means we're below 71%. Yeah, there's a little button there just moved, which means he should be unpaused. Unless it's above. Oh, so this must just pause. So if I switch this to above, is this going to unpause now? No, because it's off. And that makes sense. So if I switch this to below 30, right, now it's on. Why aren't you unpaused? Oh, it's because I've manually paused it. Right, no, let's see. I've manually unpaused it. We'll see what happens when the stock goes up, if it manually pauses itself. Hey, I'm having fun learning all of this bloody new fancy automations and that. Although we do need to get our naming situation sorted with our 3 depth sensors. We've got 1 lower depthy, we've got 1 middle depthy, and we've got 1 upper depthy. Sorry, I clearly just decided I wasn't going to bother doing capitalization on these 2. Let's have a look at this. I want this to do something when the measurement is below 0.75, 0.85. Let's think about this, because we have this bad lad, which we should probably just automate as well, to be fair. Hang on, I can't automate this. Can I? Can I use 1 automation for 2 things? Oh, this is getting unexpectedly spicy here, peeps. You know what? Let's set up the cascade here, and then we'll see if it'll work with doing there. So essentially, let's just show you what I'm doing. I'm adding this bad lad to here, so that when this ends up... Oh, but I can flip these! Ooh, right, anyway, let's just say we're doing this. So once this gets below, say, 0.85, it will open it up. So that's going to switch on below 0.85, and when it's on, it goes to 1. So I want that at 0, and when it's off, I want it at 1. Now this middle floodgate, I want attached to this depth sensor here. Once again, we're going to go below a threshold, and we'll make that threshold 0.85. So when this middle lock here gets to 0.85, we end up moving this down to 0 because we want water to flow. Otherwise, it's going to remain at 0.85. Right, yeah, it's just a simple repeat of all of that to the tippity top. So once they're all built, we should be ticking our nicely. Oh, do we have beaver builders getting up here to get this laddie in? Oh, like actually get this laddie in. We need to be crafting some gears real quick. Not only for the contamination one, the depthy sensors as well. Oh, peeps, I don't know what I was concerned about. We are absolutely flying along getting our TNT in the ground here. We've only got 5 left. I thought we'd be proper struggling to get it all in and ready for the next good tide. Although what I will say is our water number is still going down at a rather alarming rate. I'm half tempted to get more of these unpaused, you know. I'll do this one, so we'll start filling up, you know, multiple sets of tanks. And I'm also thinking about getting more beavers back in the farmhouse at the expense of haulers. And, by the looks of things, builders. We should have 2 builders coming back here, but I think what happens is the haulers need to finish doing their haul job, and then once they're finished doing that, they then clock over to be builders, which is perfect. But anywho, now that we've got this all set up for automation, if we get our lure sensor, like I say, that's just going to send out signals when the water gets below 0.85. Can we use that in here at all? Not really, and I think the reason it's not really is because it's just not the right sensor for it. We need a flow sensor. That's what we bloody need. And where we need it is up here. I mean, not up here, like, above thorns or anything. We can be cheeky with this and just chuck it here. Easy 100 science points. And what I want to say is, when the oh, no, not there. Because we have bad water flow there. I am glad I recalled that, like. You know what, actually? I reckon this is a fair dinkum spot for it. Let's get a flow sensor built in there. Let's say once the threshold gets above 0.10 meters cubed a second there, it's gonna just fly this floodgate down to 0.55. And when it's not above that, it's gonna fly it all the way up to 1. So now there's no flow, it's at 1. When there's flow, it's gonna go down to 0.55, and that'll stop the flooding down here without me having to remember to put this down to 5.5. And we can even test it by putting this down to, say, 0.80. And then when it's built, will it automatically be at 1? Because there's no flow knocking about. I'm also quite happy our beavers can reach over the shower and bang that in. Ooh, this is bloody exciting, this, like. Or at least it will be once I get the cogger up and running. Get E on the crack. We've still got 4 beavers in here. We're making planks. We're making gears. We're making explosives. We may as well be making metal blocks while we're at it. And just don't worry with the fact that we have no beavers left our way anymore. Oh, but we do have all of the TNT in. I am paid as a bee to get that up and running. Oh, you know what else I've just thought? We could use that flow sensor to automate all of these water pumps here. Let's get these all selected on. Oh, and look, it says paused by automation. That's a canny cool little icon that. Oh, does the icon change with the colour of this? So say we make this red. Is that red now? No, it's not. It's still blue. Okay, fair enough. But this is what I was worrying about with that. Is what about if I, like, want it actually unpaused? Let's for now just leave it so we've got 2 that aren't part of the automation. We've got 3 as a test group. That's how we'll see it. We've got test group for automation and a non-test group here. And hang on, is this built? Why is it paused by automation then? Not for real, why was it paused by automation if this isn't built? It was paused though. Like, we got Yetu in there, we click it, Yetu's not working in there. Ooh, is this a bug? A bug where you don't actually have to build the flow sensor, it just works anyway. And if that's the case, then this should be not here at 80. Oh, of course it is, because that's the off position. Off position's at 1, and it's not going to move by itself up to 1 because it doesn't need to be built for it to function, apparently. Is that the same with this and all? Like say I disconnect the automation, get this up to 2, and then automate it? No. Oh, yeah, no, it stayed. So if I go, yeah, look, it works. It's not built, but it works? Nah, there has to be a bug, surely. You know, I'm going to say that's a bug. It shouldn't work when it's not built. I do love the automatic unpausing of the berries, like. Although realistically, we do need a bit more storage of berries. That's our issue. Well, I'm already wasting... Well, I say wasting. There's no bloody kohlrabies in here anyway. I was going to say, I'm already wasting the 12 logs for this medium warehouse. I didn't want to waste another 12. Oh, look, the light's on. That means we were below 70% storage and we get the gatherer up and running. Oh, this is absolutely grand. I cannot wait for all of these to be up and running and probably be wrong or backwards or something and just cause all of the problems. But for real though, not having to automate the bad tides is such a weight off my mind. And no worry peeps, I have remembered to rename our one flow sensor. And with our complete and utter lack of builders and explosive grafter, which I'm just going to pause anyway because we've done all the explosives we need to do for now, that are plonked in there, I think it's time to do the unthinkable and pause some inventors. We're going back to our original 4, well, original 2 / Davey Jr.'s OG inventor. It's in this very inventor where the plans for one version are on display. Oh, and look! 0, 0, 0, 0, 10, 0? Oh, that's right, they've built some more. I was about to freak out, but they have made some more, and considering there's 3 TNT in here, that probably means there's 2 TNT, yes! So I was absolutely bang on. I got me maths right. That's bloody fair dinkum, that, like. I can be happy with that. And you know what? You can get balls and all, Forrester. I'll take all the bonus builders we can. Because we've got a lot of things to be getting built, you know? 1, 2, 3, and 4 sensors. And I'm still not overly impressed with our water security for now, like. Yes, we're going to have a big old pond in the next episode. However, we'll also have more beavers and the same amount of water slurpers, so I reckon it's time to panic a couple of more water slurpers in here. We can get one up in here, and we can get a second one up in here. And that's not all. We're going to get even more up in here. Now, they are maximum priority jobs, maximum priority builds, but we're going to get these laddies straight on the automation. Because these are certainly not the ones that we want to be unpausing during droughts and bad tides. They'll have the whole bloody pool slurped up in about 3 slopes. So even though these are going to take up a job immediately, they should be immediately paused. Now, to keep things nice and efficient, we're going to be plonking a small tank for each and every one of these. Including up here, where we've already got a small tank. Because this laddie supplies goods. This one obtains them. Ooh! And I've just been doing the priorities for all of this stuff, you know, getting them all upper so they can actually get built in the next 4 days. And I noticed there was no priority for this, which means it's in, it's off, and I think this should be red. So we get a nice red light when the bad one has got it switched on. Oh, I can't wait for a bad tide now. I want to just see this happen by itself, or not. Definitely should though, yeah? It's off now, and when it goes on, it's going to go up. And it goes up immediately. So, you know, we should be alright there. Just like, if I calculated this all correctly, which I probably didn't, because I haven't thought about this at all, apart from when I'm recording, which usually means mistakes are being made when I'm recording. But if this is all up and running and working correctly with automations, I'll be bloody buzzing with this. I also love the fact I got this one flow sensor controlling not only the floodgate, but all of these bloody water slurpers and all. And I am absolutely hankering for a bit of a speedy up bit. We haven't had a proper speedy up bit this episode. We've had some wee ones, but this is a proper one. We're gonna be slurping up all the river water, and after that, we're gonna be building all the bloody water slurpers, which should automatically pause themselves. Well, the ones we're building, not the ones that are currently slurping the river, of course. We don't have automations on those. But how are you enjoying this episode? This is the first episode back. I had to take a bit of a break / pre-record some episodes so we didn't have any delays. And I've been having myself a bit of a cringe and a bit of a chuckle at some of your comments because you're like making really good points. But I know in like, 1 or 2 episodes time, I'm gonna discover the very thing that you've just commented. It's gonna seem so ignorant. But it's all good. Everyone's been chill. And it seems like we've had plenty of people enjoying the series, which is canny. Welcome to all the new legends who've joined. I know there's a couple of yous. And I hope yous enjoy it long enough to stick around till the end and see what becomes of Davey Jr.'s legacy. I will say I'm absolutely blown away with how our beavers have just came around and automated most of the shite on this map. It's absolutely wonderful. Abrupt end to the speedy up bit. I may or may not have completely forgot that we didn't have any scrap metal. So I've unpaused the scrapper now. They're going to be getting their precious 8 scrap metal, but the rest of these, as you can see, are on. They're below 8.5, which means that's done. Once this laddie's in, this will be done as well. And you can see we got this laddie getting that floodgate done. And looking at our storage here, we didn't need ye up and running, which means we didn't need any of yes, aka get back to sciencing, because we'll bloody need those science points. Oh, especially since it's the night of the end of the cycle. And you know what that means, peeps? That means we have to make our way up the beavers' fancy new staircase, past the idling beavers in the industrial estate, around and over the top of this big old brand new automated fanciness, so we can get a mad little angle after a fancy double jump. I hope you enjoyed. Be keen for the next one, where we're going to be getting all water security fully cemented. Well, you know, without the cement bit, because it sticks to a beaver 4. Oh yeah, and you get to see all of the automations, see if they're actually working or not. I am keen as a bean for the next episode, peeps. So without further ado, a toodaloo!